happening for the entire month of May 2023. How about the rest of the year, financially, in your love life, and in your professional life? I will also talk about the entire week by sign, okay? But you have to go to my YouTube channel. And if you're already on my YouTube channel, yay, you. But if you're on my TikTok channel, then you're only going to see parts of it. So let's start off. I will do a separate one for finances because I'm doing financial astrology as well. All right. And there's really important dates for May 1st and May 29th that you're going to want to know. So you can look at that on my mini TikTok, which I've already got put up there, or you can look at the details on my YouTube channel, which is Ask Holly Hall. YouTube, Ask Holly Hall. That's it, right? Okay. So it's ASK, Holly Hall, HALL. So we start off with a real fiery energy. First thing in the morning, we're playful and we're fun on Monday morning, May the 1st, and then all of a sudden we get serious. I got some organizing to do. I want to organize my computer. I want to organize my home. I want some order. I want some structure. I've got to have a new regime, a new plan. No, don't forget that we're in Mercury retrograde as well. And this one's a doozy. I don't know about you guys, but it's starting to piss me off. But hey, not even an astrologer can get away from that. And there's a silver lining around mine. And you'll see that when you see my new website that will be launching very soon with all of my courses. And then we go to the mid part of Wednesday, which now we're looking at the 3rd of May of 2023. And now we're getting more into what's fair, what's not fair, the legalities. If there's paperwork or papers that you have to sign, double check it, triple check it, because we are in a very serious Mercury retrograde. And there's this feeling that there's an urgency, that somebody around you is creating an urgency, or maybe you're the one who's creating that urgency. Not a good idea to rush into anything right now with that Mercury retrograde. Now, let's take a look at another thing around the moon. So we've got a full moon on Thursday and Friday, but no mistake, and you're going to feel that full moon right now as we speak. So therefore, there's going to be some deliberations either with your coworkers, personal members of your family, or people that you know personally, and you're going to feel like this isn't fair, this isn't right, they're wrong, I'm right, and I need to document the details, which is a good idea, actually, in order to prove my case. Whether that's an argument that you're having with somebody else or you're in the midst of some type of closure, please wait until Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You're going to be you're going to have a lot more equilibrium around what's fair and what's not fair, and having conversation and communication with professionals and even friends to help you weigh out the odds is extremely important. Now, if you can wait until mid-May before anything around around signing any important documents, then do that. Okay, now we're still going to go into our shadow probably until May 20th, but mid-May is when it goes direct again. And again, there is this urgency. There's a fight. There seems to be a battle or a fight. And if it's not happening with other people, it's happening within you. Now, globally, what you're going to notice specifically by the end of the week is that we're all going to start getting bombarded with news telling us who's wrong and who's right. And that they're doing this in our best interest because it's fair. It's only fair that we know the truth. Now, if you're hearing this from mainstream media and it seems to be a copycat, like a copy and paste on every single, like The Guardian, the BBC, the Toronto News, the New York Post, the National News, it's exactly the same about the same people, like Tucker Carlson. And then there was Graham Hancock. So if it's negative and it's warning you as if they want to protect you and make sure you know what's the right news is, then you can rest assured that it's BS bullcrap. Okay, so this is why we have the real people who can speak for themselves and talk for themselves on podcasts and interviews. I really highly recommend that you look at the Graham Hancock interview with Joe Rogan. and Tucker Carlson, he's vague. He's being so vague right now. He's got something up his sleeve. He's not telling most of us. Okay, so then we go into the weekend, and I'm going to document that for you on Friday, what's going to happen on the weekend. But expect to say this phrase over and over again. That's not fair. It's not fair. You're not being fair. This is not fair. This is imbalance. I don't feel like this is in harmony. All right. But right now, document the details. And then the next podcast, I'm going to talk about the details of financing. Now, this is where we're going to end with TikTok. You're going to want to go to youtube.com, Ask Holly Hall, and that's where you're going to get the longer version of every sign, every sun sign. All right. Remember, I do sidereal astrology, so you may not be the sun sign that you think you are. And if you know your moon sign, or you know your Mercury, or you know your Venus, specifically if you know your Mercury, and then you can use my predictions per sign using them as well. So you might want to do kind of a smorgasbord of readings according to the signs that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, let's talk about the sun signs. We're going to start with Aries, the fiery sign. You guys are really getting worked up. I mean, if you're the ones that are doling out all the documentations and things that need to be heard and signed for, if you're looking for that new car, if you're looking for that new conversation in a relationship and you're finding that you're getting pushback or kickback from your partner or your business partner, it's because there seems to be a sense of urgency in your voice and a sense of impatience in the tone. So you want to make sure, did I give them all the information a while back? Did I give them time to digest this, mull this over, maybe ask a few questions? Or did I wait to the last minute? Because if you did, you kind of screwed yourself. And you're probably getting defensive right now. Okay. So anyone with a lot of Aries in this, your mind is going a billion miles a minute. Take a breather. Don't jump into anything until you take at least 24 hours to think things over. Now, for the mid part of the week, when you're trying to get organized, you're not going to. That's what's going to happen. Is people is going to say, Mr. and Mrs. Aries, you are not organized. You don't have everything that we were looking for. You need to slow down, take it back a notch, and maybe by the end of the week, you can give us the information. By the end of the week, you're going to be even more frustrated because you're going to feel like, aren't we in this together? Why are we at each other's throats? Why do I feel like I'm on the opposite side of the fence in this particular situation? And emotionally, at the end of the week, it really starts to get to you because you feel like you're not a team. You feel like you're not connecting. You feel like maybe that they seem to be opposing, or something seems to be opposing every effort that you make throughout the week. And again, I'll go through all the signs on the weekend. Now, for Taurus, this isn't bad. The Monday doesn't start off so great. By the end of Monday, moving all the way into Thursday, remember we have Aries. I'm sorry, I need to talk about the full moon that we're having on Thursday into Friday. You're going to start feeling that right now too, and that's really your mantra right now. Is I'm fighting this because this ain't fair. I'm completely against this because there's nothing fair about this at all. If you're normally not a fiery person, but you have Aries in your chart, but the rest of you says, I really don't resonate with Aries because I'm not aggressive, I'm not assertive, then this is probably a time for you to be aggressive and assertive. Taurus, with patience, if you can do that. So, Taurus, you're going to find yourself by the end of Monday, as I said, which is today, as I'm recording this, into going into Thursday when we have our full moon, is that you have a lot of patience. You've got all your ducks in a row. You've got everything in order. Now, if you're not a strong Taurus, you might be shaking your head. So you better take a look at the rest of your birth chart so that you can see if this assimilates with you or resonates with you. But you do have all your ducks in a row and you've got everything in order and you're pretty calm, pretty chill, and you're grounded. And you may find yourself having to ground other people but their high intensity really isn't affecting you too much. In fact, if you can, I'd spend as much time alone as you can because you really need to recharge those batteries. Go out in nature. Go out in nature. This is going to calm and soothe you. And this is a great time to wrap up. What are the things that I haven't been doing that's conducive to my health when it comes to my nutrition? Okay, because that's what you're going to start uh, putting in order throughout the next couple of days. And the full moon is a perfect time for you to say, well, I need to wrap this up because I've been doing well with my nutritional habits, maybe even my financial affairs, but I've kind of let some things um, put things on the shelf that I need to address. And that's what you'll do during the week and specifically with the full moon. Now, with Gemini, you're going to find yourself really assertive and you're communicating a lot. Really be careful about how your conversation branches off. If you find that people are going, I have no idea what you're talking about, it's because you tried to weave in 5 or 6 stories into one without even taking a breath. And this is where you want to say, okay, what part do you want me to focus on? Where do you want me to focus? Script your conversations before that and don't gossip. Don't say this person said that and this person knows this and I know this because I read that. That's gossip, right? If you're really approaching somebody and you want to have an intellectual conversation, which you guys are awesome at doing that, then you want to ask all the right questions. That's what you're going to do this week. It's not going to be easy though, because you're going to feel criticized. You're going to feel like people are questioning you because they must think you're unintelligent or uninformed and your back is up. We're not going to deny that. You're definitely going to be sensitive to either constructive criticism or somebody questioning you, you may take as criticism. So you want to be careful with that throughout the majority of the week. When the full moon hits, you're going to be calmer, you're going to be more relaxed. In fact, you're going to look back and go, maybe I overreacted. Maybe I need to mend some fences this weekend and get along, hang out with my buddy. Let's just go out for a beer and forget about it, kind of thing. Now, we've got Cancer, and Cancer, it's not a good start for you for the week. In fact, the whole weekend was just so much drama around family and friends, and really feeling like you didn't get invited or you don't fit in. But now, for the rest, most of the week leading into Thursday, you're going to feel a lot more calmer. You're going to feel a lot more relaxed. You may feel emotional, but you're much more practical and rational about your emotional responses. And you can address family and friends about what your needs are in a practical, logical manner. And that's what I would work on throughout the week, self nurturing and attending to those details around what is good and not good that is mingled in within your nutritional needs, specifically around dairy. Really want you to take a look at dairy and see if that's maybe affecting your skin and also affecting your stomach and putting you on an emotional roller coaster ride. When the full moon hits, that's going to be a tough one for you. You're going to get yourself all emotional again. And you're also going to be saying, that's not fair. But it's more the fairness for you is around that people aren't taking your emotions and your feelings into account. They're not taking accountability for how you may emotional feel. So it's all logical and practical to everybody else. But what about my feelings? What about what I want to do? Right? And so this is where you might have to advocate for your own self nurturing during this time by saying no, not an easy thing. And Leo. So what's happening with Leo is you guys start the whole weekend was just a big bang boom party. You were just having a good old time, meeting all kinds of people, maybe being creative and crafty. And I know that I was away without internet, and this is my creativity right here, what you're seeing, and I really missed it. So that's why I'm delayed in all of this as well. And so Leo, what you want to do throughout the week, because it's right now as we speak, we're moving into a more practical, rational, grounded. You're going to find yourself you need to catch up. Uh, did a lot of partying on the weekend, or a lot of sort of escaping reality. So you're going to find during the week that I've got a lot of catch up to do. I got a lot of responsibilities. I got to finally do something about it, or someone's going to nag you that you haven't done it. And you don't have all your ducks in a row and your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and you're just going to be nag, nag, nag. Just nag, nag, nag. You're going to feel like this is no fun. But take care of business during the week And when the weekend comes, specifically Thursday and Friday, when we have the full moon, then you can chillax and you can relax. And you're really going to enjoy the full moon because you're going to find that playfulness, fun come back in for the weekend as well. Now we're looking at Virgo. Virgo, you're going to have a great week. You're going to get the job done. You're going to get so much recognition. People are going to say, wow, thank you for acknowledging and me, and thank you for serving me and taking care of the details is going to be acknowledged to you throughout the week as well. Now, you may find that there's some financial concerns that isn't fair, and you may feel like you want to take some legal action or even just action in addressing the situation and sending out an email or a text going, I think this financial situation that, even if it's as simple as you bought something online and it wasn't what you thought it was. Normally, you would kind of find a way that, oh well, at least I'm helping somebody in their business and that serves them. But when the full moon comes, you're going to be, no, that didn't serve me. So what about me? I'm going to address this situation, and that will be on the full moon on Thursday. You may be around your values as well. So you may be finding that you have to stick up for yourself to detail. Be careful about that detail, but to detail the situation because you feel like they don't value who you are or value the work that you put into something. Make sure you value someone else as well, which Virgos are pretty good at doing that. So Libra, this is a real lonely. It started off great, but this is a real feeling alone time. Feeling like I don't have partner, I don't have camaraderie, I don't have connection. If I have a partner, we're not connecting, we're not seeing eye to eye. What can we do in order to figure that out? Spend some time alone figuring that out. Addressing the other person or the other situation or the other member of the family or the work situation isn't gonna. That's not gonna work because they're not gonna understand the details that you're putting forward. So when the full moon comes, it'll be a lot easier for you. In fact, you will be very surprised at how many people, if you can hold back throughout the week and just mind to the details, spend some time alone, people will circle back and come to you at the end of the week and go, maybe I should have approached you differently at the beginning of the week. And you'll be like, phew. Okay. So fairness will be in order again. Now we're looking at Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, this is okay throughout the week because you don't mind tending to the details and you don't mind taking a look at your personal health, but it also seems to be around loans and trying to find the right place to get a loan. So if you're looking for a loan, you want to borrow, you want to buy something a little outside of your realm, this is a time to do a ton of research during the week, but to not actually purchase. If you can wait until mid May, as I said, with the Mercury retrograde, you'd be a lot better off. But if you absolutely cannot, do the research. You guys are the research king and queen, so I know you got this. And then by Friday, I see somebody approaching you with actually an idea that you never even thought of. And that'll take you into the weekend, which I'll talk about later on in the week. But that's how the full moon will affect you, is that somebody kind of giving you an inside scoop of how you could do things differently if you can hold off until then. Unless, of course, it's life or death. You got free will. We all have free will. Now we've got Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, you started the weekend. Weekend's been busy. But during the week comes, again, it's going to be catch up for you, and you're going to find that you've got a billion things. In fact, people are going to throw more at you as if you don't have enough. And you're going to find yourself really irritated that people are kind of doing this through sarcasm. Did you never plan on doing those dishes? Oh, I see. Since I gave you to the end of the first week of May to get this done, what are you going to wait till the end of the week? And, this kind of sarcasm, and you're like, oh, you might even be spewing it out as well. So be very careful about that. But when the full moon comes in, you're going to nail it. You're going to have everything. In fact, somebody may even take something away from you. So they seem to have this urgency that this had to be done immediately. And you felt like you had to serve them throughout the week by doing it for them. When in reality, they could have done it themselves. And in fact, if you don't do it, they will do it for themselves by Thursday and Friday. Again, I will talk about the weekend when Friday comes on my TikTok and on my YouTube as well. Subscribe, guys, if you want to get updates on all of this juicy stuff astrologically several times a week. Then you want to subscribe and also head over to my TikTok, which is Ask Holly Hall as well. So now we've got you into Aquarius. Now, The week is okay. You're minding to the details. You're trying to get the team to kind of be team players. If there's a group of people, a couple of people that you got to work with, they seem to be also taking things very personally, and you feel like you're kind of walking on eggshells so that you don't get on their nerves or they don't get on your nerves. Is really what it is. Really, you just want freedom. If everybody just takes care of their side of the if they just take care of their corner, everything would work out. So you're kind of frustrated with that. But on the weekend, on Thursday and Friday, with this full moon, it's in your favor. You're going to have it all wrapped up in a pretty little bow. And I would say the secret to that is don't do the work for other people. Say, we're a team. We're working on this together. Let's, let's jive. Let's get this going. You do your thing. I'll do my thing. And at the end, we're going to it all come out in the wash. And that's what the weekend will be about. In fact, I think a friend, yes, I believe a friend is going to come, even in the guise of a friend, like somebody saying, you know what, I can see that you're kind of in a bind. I kind of want to just help you out because that's what people do. That's a humanitarian thing to do. And if you might be the person who does that. And then we have Capricorn. Um, Actually, Capricorn should have become before Aquarius. I apologize. I wanted to jump to Aquarius. So in Capricorn, it's around getting the job. You get the job done. In fact, you delegate everybody else to get the job done because nobody else get the job done. So you're going to be the one that's going to have to lead the pack and micromanage everybody. And you do a great job. And in fact, if anybody's acting as if you're criticizing them, say, well, do you have a better way of approaching this? Because we just need to get this done. We just need to have a conversation about this. We just need to be rational, practical about this. This is the goal that we all want. So what do you propose to be done? Because it seems like I'm the only one who's proposing something to be done. When the full moon comes in, if you haven't done any of that or nobody's cooperating with you, you're going to blow a gasket. You're going to blow a gasket because you feel like nobody is listening to you, boundaries aren't being set, and there's no structure. So, yeah, you're going to be a bit flustered. So, now Pisces, last but not least. This is a tough week for you. It's very emotional. You feel very self critical. You feel alienated, alone, sad. Some of you might be going, yeah, that's the way I feel all the time, Holly. But it just feels like the world is against people who are empathic and emotional. Um, it's a time that you probably should spend more alone and just sort of organizing yourself and not asking for help because honestly, the pace that you want to go at is not a fast speed pace. You really just want to be able to digest and sit with some of the changes throughout the week and organizing things yourself or looking at your mess yourself. Who cares if it's not all night neat and tidy? Um, and then when the full moon is not going to be the easiest either because there's this feeling that everybody is arguing and you can't seem to keep the peace and that's all you want to do. You seem to be empathizing and sympathizing and understanding everybody else's situation, but they don't understand how you're getting sucked into it. So you might have to unstick yourself and say, this is not my monkey and not my circus, not my monkeys, not my circus, and just ease your way out of the situation. Okay, there you go, guys. It's Holly from askhollyhall.com. Don't forget to subscribe so you can get updates and go to my TikTok as well.